I am a police officer in Portland, Oregon. I kind of like my job, but it's pretty difficult. My job is basically to arrest criminals. That's all you have to do. And boy, when I got the job, you don't want to know how many crimes I had to deal with for like the whole month. Whew. But I came to tell this story about one of the most scary experiences of my entire life. So, it was a typical Friday. It was nighttime, and me and my friend, Johnny, had just gotten back from Burger King after getting a burger. We were both eating our cheeseburgers until we got a call on the radio.
A stranger armed with a knife has been found at an abandoned house. The address is Portland, Oregon, King Street.
As soon as we got that call, my friend Johnny, since he was the one behind the wheel, spammed on the brakes. My burger fell to the floor. It was even the worst part is that that police car hadn't been cleaned out in like months. So you can expect to see some hair on the ground. So when I pulled my burger back up, yeah, it was covered in hair. Even worse, the top bun fell off. I looked at my friend Johnny, anger in my eyes. He saw me and he kind of smiled, and then he said sorry. We'll go to Burger King after this. That kind of made me happy. So yeah, there was me and my friend Johnny going to arrest a dangerous guy with a knife at an abandoned house. A couple minutes later, we arrived at the house. And when I got out of the car and looked at the house, boy, that house looked scary. Of what I can tell, there were 3 stories. The house looked like it hasn't been cleaned in years. There were many dead trees around the house. And there were crows flying in the sky. And when I was little, my mom and dad always told me that if you see a bunch of crows in the sky, like circling around, then there must be something dead, like an animal. So seeing those crows flying in the sky like that really terrified me. Right there and there, my friend Johnny scared me after he slammed his car door open. I jumped. I looked at Johnny and said, "Dude, you wasted my burger and you just scared me with the car door. Please stop." Johnny just chuckled. Right after he chuckled, he said, "Dude, we have to deal with a madman. That madman could be inside that house right now. So are you a scaredy cat or what?" I took one look at the house again. And I looked back at Johnny. "Alright, dude, let's do this," as I pulled my gun out. "There you go," said Johnny. "That's what a real policeman will do," he said. I scuffled at him. So me and Johnny walked across the creepy yard. And after 2 seconds of walking to the front door, we eventually made it. I don't know why, but Johnny knocked on the door. I looked at him in confusion. "Dude, what are you doing?" I said. "Dude, it's not like someone lives here. Take a look at this place. And also, did you not hear the radio? There's a madman in this house. Do you really want him coming down here and slitting our throats?" Right after I told him that, he put his hand away from the door and put it back on to his side. He must have gotten scared when I told him about that killer will slit our throats. So my friend Johnny said, "Police, open up." No one answered. And right after he said that, I said, "Open up now or we'll kick the door down." Once again, no one answered. So me and Johnny backed up. He put his foot up against the door, pulled it back, and kicked the door down. So me and Johnny ran inside the house to look for the armed stranger. We didn't find anyone on the downstairs. So then we started to look around the place. He looked into the kitchen. I looked in the living room. So I waved around my flashlight I had in my pocket. I didn't find anything. But when I went into the other living room, I saw a desk in front of the door. So I shined my flashlight at the desk. And the things I saw are still in my mind. The stuff I saw on the desk was like knives, guns. The creepiest thing I found on the desk was an AK-47. When I saw that, I immediately walked back because I never seen an AK-47 in my life before. Just then, I heard my friend Johnny screaming from the other room. After I heard his scream, I immediately ran into the kitchen. I turned around the counter, and what I saw froze my blood. There was a guy on top of Johnny, and the man on top of Johnny had a knife, and they were fighting. And it looked like the man tried to stab Johnny, but Johnny had grabbed his arm with the knife, so Johnny was trying to not get stabbed. I knew I had to save Johnny. So I turned to the side and I saw a plate on the counter. I grabbed it, ran over to the man, and smashed his head. The man immediately fell off of Johnny. Johnny got out of the man. He stood up and told me thanks. I told him he was welcomed, and we both looked at the man. So I grabbed his hand on the arm, and we ran to the exit to call the other cops. But as we were about to leave the exit, we heard a million footsteps coming down the stairs. Right after me and Johnny heard those footsteps, we ran outside the door. We ran back to our police car and drove off as fast as we could. We never looked back. As we were driving, Johnny called into the radio and said that the man tried to kill him, but they escaped. And that more police officers need to arrive at that scene because we're not going back. So after he gave that little thing to the other officers, a couple minutes later, there were 4 police cops outside that house. It was scary. Because a couple minutes later, they came out with that guy in handcuffs. And he was set into the police car and he was driven away to prison. And till this day, me and Johnny are still really good friends. But till this day, what would have happened if I was never with Johnny? Johnny could have died. But also, what were his plans? What were his plans? That table I saw, the man that tried to kill Johnny and I probably, will still be forever in my head till this day. But in a couple of days, we're gonna go to court and probably figure out what his true plans to do with us. So, see ya.